everybody and welcome back to a new video. I am super excited to film today's video because I'm going to be talking about Beauty and the Beast, the 2017 live action one, and I'm particularly going to be talking about the special features, bonus features and all good things like that. I was originally going to do this as a special feature spotlight and talk about 3 movies and 3 lots of special features. But when I started watching this, I felt like I just had too much to say about these special features and just a lot of things to say. I didn't want to crowd it all into one video. So yes, this is just going to be the special features on Beauty and the Beast, the Blu-ray. Now, this is obviously the UK version. This is actually the 3D one. You don't need to have the 3D one. It's just the standard Blu-ray that I watched. The 3D doesn't even have any extra things on the 3D disc. So it's just the standard Blu-ray UK. Now on the DVD I don't think there is any special features. I have tried to look this up and it was kind of a struggle to find out, and then I tried to look unboxings up on YouTube here, and the people who did unboxings kind of went over the back very quickly, and so I tried to pause it and see, and I couldn't really see there is anything. So if you own the DVD, please let me know in the comments below if there's any bonus features on the DVD. I would love to know. I'm sure it'll be helpful for people who maybe haven't picked the movie up yet but are interested in the features. You know, but Blu-ray has a lot of them and I've made notes of what we've got. So the first thing we have here is the Enchanted table read. This is 13 minutes long. Now this was so fantastic. So basically, if you don't know or haven't seen one before, the table read is basically the cast and the crew and stuff, they kind of sit around and go through the script and it's kind of like a rehearsal. They just kind of do a read through, I suppose. And this one was really fantastic because they did all the songs and the dances and it was really crazy and it was so brilliant to watch. I really enjoyed this. I felt like I could have so happily watched the entire movie again in this way of, you know, watching it just them breathe through, and you know, it was just so enjoyable and fantastic. I really enjoyed it. And what I particularly liked about this was Emma Thompson. I loved seeing her in this and her read through. She also sang during this, which was amazing. And Ian McKellen, who obviously plays Cogsworth, but in the film you can't really see him as Cogsworth, of course, and he was just really fun in this bit as well. And then obviously we have our main stars, you know, Belle and the Beast, Emma Watson, and I've already forgotten his name, you know, the Beast, and Gaston. He was great in this and it was just so fun to watch. And yeah, I would definitely recommend watching that. It was very, very interesting and just really got a nice behind the scenes, pre-production, pre-everything look at it, and I really, really enjoyed that. So yeah, that was really fantastic. The next thing on the Blu-ray is A Beauty of a Tale. Now this is kind of the main chunk of special features that we've got here. It's 27 minutes long and they kind of split it up into little different parts and kind of put little title screens throughout, and this was really, really enjoyable. And it just this is basically the main special feature. Like I said, this is giving us the whole background of the process that they went through, everything that they did, the sets that they built, which were fantastic. There was so much, it was so much cooler to see them without I don't know, as sets, you know, because you can actually tell it's a set, and that was fantastic. It looked brilliant. And there's a few little fun little secrets throughout this part which I don't want to ruin for you, because I definitely recommend checking this out. I feel like if you only watch the first 2 parts, the special features, you know, the table read and this, or I guess if you just really want to watch this to get a real behind the scenes type of glimpse, it was really brilliant. So basically, initially in the beginning of this, they talk about how they went about bringing the classic to life and how they you know, different things they question, because obviously everyone knows Beauty and the Beast is a fantastic film, you know, the original animated film, and you know, all the cast and crew and actors and actresses were saying, you know, we love this film, we don't want to mess it up. And then they go into talking about why they added new scenes and new things they decided to do, and a few little things they decided to do differently, which I thought was very interesting. And they also talk about the new songs. So there's 3 new songs, I'm not entirely sure. And it was interesting to see why they added in the new songs and how they wanted to add their own spin on it. And I do like how it wasn't just a, you know, copy and paste of the original, but then the parts where they go into, you know, how they wanted to keep the original in this sense and they mirror the 2. It was really interesting to see, during the special feature they show you clips of the original and then the clip of the new one, and it's just so fun to see it in that way, and you know, the comparison of the 2 up against each other, and I really enjoyed that. And in this part in particular, I really liked Josh Glad. He was talking a lot about the film and a lot about his character LeFou, and I love him. I think he's fantastic and I love LeFou. I hope that's how you say it. I loved him. Obviously, you know, Gaston and LeFou, that's who he is. And yeah, Josh Gad played him, and like Gad, Josh, it's G-A-D, so I don't know why I'm saying Glad. Josh Gad. Okay, he played LeFou, and he was brilliant. And again, I just loved everything that he had to say about the film, and everything that he had to say about how they worked on the scenes and his numbers. And it was funny because they say, you know, his character is kind of always getting bashed about in the animation, and wasn't really something they could bring through to screen. And you know, that's something I hadn't really thought about, but I think what they did do with his character was just fantastic. He was one of my favourites when I watched the film. I've only seen the film once so far, so it was kind of interesting to pick up on these little things that I hadn't seen before, and then when I go to watch it through, I'll be like, ah yeah, I get X, Y and Z. What else did I have to say? I think that was pretty much everything. Again, Emma Thompson, oh no, I wrote Emma Watson. Emma Watson talks a lot about her connection with the film and with Belle, and how she kind of, you know, added her little changes to Belle, which when I heard about it, I thought it was very, very interesting. I'd heard about this before the film came out. I thought, oh, I really like that, you know, she kind of adds her to be a bit of an inventor, and, you know, all of this extra kind of, you know, bits and qualities about Belle that she didn't have as much in the original, and I really, really liked that. But I feel like when I watched the film the first time, it didn't stand out to me as much as I thought it would. But then when Emma Watson was talking about it and kind of, you know, showing her spin on it and showing little parts, I was like, yeah, okay, I do notice that now, which I didn't notice before. And oh yeah, I've forgotten about that bit, you know, which I didn't notice before. And they had certain things, you know, to do with how her blue dress was designed, so she was able to do certain things, you know, like get on a horse, and it wasn't like, you know, like a restricting dress or anything. And I thought it was really interesting. So yeah, really, really enjoyed that. Definitely check that out. If you enjoyed the film, and if you enjoy the original, I'd recommend to watch that, because I feel like you'll really get a lot from that. The next thing of a special feature was the woman behind Beauty and the Beast. I kind of thought this was going to be really spectacular, kind of a bit more lengthy. It was only 5 minutes, but I feel like what they did do with this was very interesting. So this is basically all the women who work behind the camera and behind the scenes. So we have the editor, casting director, production designer, set design, costume design, you know, all those people. And there were all these really fantastic women talking about their jobs and how they kind of got into it and then working on this film. And I thought it was so interesting because it wasn't necessarily points of view that we often get. I mean, you might like on the odd snippet, but this was really just focusing on them. Again, it was only 5 minutes. It could have been a bit longer. I could have done with a little bit more, but I feel like what they had to say was really interesting, and I really, really enjoyed it. And at the end, I was really surprised by kind of, I felt like you could take quite a bit away from it, especially if you're looking to get into that kind of industry. I feel like it was quite a motivational thing. It's not something that I'm looking to get into, but they talk about just how many different jobs there are to do on a film like that. I thought that was really, really interesting, so I really enjoyed that. Next we have From Song to Screen. This is 13 minutes long, and this is basically the creation of the, you know, musical scenes. We've got Belle, obviously the opening scene, which I loved, was my favourite of this film. Really enjoyed that. They've got Be Our Guest. Okay, so initially when I watched this film, I didn't like Be Our Guest. That's kind of a problem I had with it. I just didn't really enjoy that scene or that musical number in this film. I love it in the original. Maybe that's kind of where it's kind of, but I feel like it doesn't connect in as well here, and they spent forever trying to make this, and it was really interesting to watch this part because I feel like you can see the time and effort and work gone into it, but I feel like it just still doesn't get me like the original does, and it was kind of one of the bigger problems I had with the film. While I still give it 5 stars, I think it's fantastic and beautiful, but Be Our Guest, I'm just not the biggest fan of it in this way, and I don't know, it's kind of hard. Emma Watson says, you know, she spent 7 days having to just sit and look at nothing, you know, just her in a room, and you can see the process, and it's a really interesting process, but it's not my favourite. But yes, let's Be Our Guest. Then we have Gaston, which I love because again we've got Gaston and LeFou and the actors playing them talking about this, and that was really, really interesting. I really loved that because I really liked their dynamic, and I really liked their song in this, and I really liked Gaston in this. I thought it was really interesting. Okay, and then we have finally for this section Beauty and the Beast. Of course, they talk about how they filmed the main musical scene, Beauty and the Beast. Now, in the original, this is my absolute favourite part. This one, I enjoyed it, I liked it, it was good. I really loved the ballroom, and I really loved them talking about the ballroom. It was fantastic. But the problem I had with this one was that I was a bit disappointed by the yellow dress. Like, you know, in the animation one, I was like, oh yes, the yellow dress, like, it's such a big deal. And it's so beautiful, and you know, I grew up watching Beauty and the Beast, and that was kind of like the perfect princess dress, you know, and I felt like it could have been a bit more wow. However, in this little part, they talk about the yellow dress and the process they went through picking the yellow dress and, you know, all this stuff. They said, you know, yellow dress is important, and we decided ultimately the main thing we wanted to achieve with the yellow dress was the movement of the dress. It had to look beautiful when dancing. And, you know, I looked at it and you can't fault the movement this dress makes. Like, it looks great when Emma Watson's dancing around the ballroom, when, you know, Belle is dancing with the Beast, it looks great then. But when she comes down the stairs, it's a little bit anticlimactic. But, you know, in the original, it's an animated film. They didn't have to think about how this dress was going to work. And in this one, they had to think about that, you know. She could have this spectacular dress that doesn't even move. This one, it flows round and it visually looks great then. So I was like, oh, okay. I forgave them for this kind of yellow dress thing now, and I feel like I appreciate the dress more, because that was just a thing I was really sad about. But then I was like, oh, okay, it all makes sense. And when you look at it that way, it works. So, you know, there's some things that in the animation film I'm like, yes, I love. In this one, you just physically can't do it because it's real, it's not animated, you know. So I really liked that. Then we have an extended song, Days in the Sun, 4 minutes long. The director talks about this and kind of how he admits, he says he messed something up where they had to change things. I thought that was very interesting. But it was kind of sad because I quite liked the way it was, and he was sad, he liked the way it was. But yes, that's kind of interesting, and obviously Days in the Sun is a new song. Then we have the deleted scenes. Like most special features, bonus features, they give us deleted scenes. These are 6 minutes long. We have an intro by Bill Condon, and then we have Gaston courts Belle, which is one of my favourites. I quite liked that scene. Again, LeFou is in it, and he does a funny little thing. And then we have Bread and Jam for Agatha. This was okay. Then we have Storming the Ice Skates again. It was okay. You know, some of these deleted scenes, you're never that bothered that they've gone. Then we have Lumiere tortures LeFou again. You know, it was okay. It's kind of during that, obviously, during the kind of battle scene, I don't know, in the castle, you know, when they all storm in and all the houseware, you know, candles, plates, all the bits and bobs from the castle fight against, you know, Gaston's crew. It's kind of during that bit, which there was quite a few deleted scenes from that area, and I feel like I could see why, because some of them didn't work as well. Like this one, Cogsworth rescues Lumiere, and Cogsworth's kind of fighting with I can't remember what character, but just a villager character, and it just doesn't look right, because obviously Cogsworth's not there, so it just doesn't look right. So I feel like that's why they deleted quite a few of these scenes. But then we have Monsieur Toilette, and this was great. I really liked this, and this has LeFou again. I feel like so bad. He got so many deleted scenes, but he was great. And this scene I really liked, and it actually comes back with LeFou and Monsieur Toilette reunite, and I thought it was so good. So I really wish they would have left that part in, because it was just cute and fun. And then we also have Treacle the Lasses, which again is during that whole fighting area. So you know, some of them were okay, some of them were just not so great. And then we have Making a Moment with Celine Dion, which is 3 minutes long, and I thought this was so sweet and so sad. So, you know, she talks about the fact that she was asked to revisit, you know, Beauty and the Beast and sing a song, and she talks about how, you know, she wasn't sure that she wanted to do it, and how she almost said no, because it was something that she kind of related to her and her husband, who has now passed away, and it was just so sad. And everything that she said there was so beautiful about how she, you know, it was just different than what I thought it was going to be. I thought she was just going to say, you know, kind of a simple thing, but she didn't. She kind of went into her, you know, real emotions of connection with the original film and the song she sang in, you know, original film. And then, you know, it was kind of sad. So yeah, I really liked that, actually. That surprised me. It's like a little, again, 3 minute thing, and I was like, oh yeah, you know, this will be okay. And I thought it was really cute. So yeah, I really like Celine Dion though, so yeah. Then we have Beauty and the Beast, the Ariana Grande and John Legend music video. This was okay. This is 4 minutes long. It is just the music video you will have seen. I actually hadn't seen it until now, And you know, I thought it was okay. I'm not really a big fan of Ariana Grande, however, I will say I'm not a big fan of her music, but I think she's a great person. I didn't really pay much notice to her, you know, she was just kind of somebody, like, you know, Little Mix, well, she's not in there, but, you know, during, kind of like young teenagers like Ariana Grande, Little Mix, Justin Bieber, One Direction, that kind of thing, I kind of put her in that category. And then obviously when the Manchester thing happened, I live close to Manchester, so obviously it was very heard about here, but I'm sure all over the world it was, because, you know, Ariana Grande is very popular and she's, you know, a big star. I thought that the way that she dealt with that was very interesting, and I really thought she was a really great person after that. Even though I don't really have much interest in her music, I thought she was really great. So, you know, no bash on Ariana Grande, but I'm not really a big fan of her music. But this was sweet, you know, but I'm never really one for liking these kind of other music videos as much. It depends. There's an occasional one that I do. I like the Moana one, because obviously, you know, they have the big song and then they have somebody sing the big song again. And so the Moana music video, How Far I'll Go, I really like the kind of second music video, I guess you'd say. But with the Frozen one, I never as much liked the second Let It Go. I always just like the original. So, you know, sometimes they're a bit hit and miss. This one I just, it's okay. And then they did the making of the music video, which again, just, you know, that's not really a bit that I think you really need to watch. But if you really like Ariana Grande and John Legend, I actually do quite like John Legend, then, you know, maybe you'll be really interested to know how they made the music video. But the making of the music video was only 2 minutes long, so it's just a little snippet. But something nice extra to have. And then we also have kind of like a sing-along song selection thing where you can pick a song from the film and just listen to the song, which I think is pretty cute. And obviously it has the video, the visual to go with it, not just the song. So yeah, I really enjoyed the special features for this. I thought they were just so great, and I really recommend that you watch them. I feel like if you own this Blu-ray and you haven't checked out the special features, I just really think you should, especially, like I say, the first two were just brilliant. And it just gave me so much more connection with the film, and I definitely want to continue watching more special features. I feel like it's something maybe in the movie community here we don't talk about enough, and maybe we don't do enough. You know, I forget to watch them, but now I've sat down and watched these. I'm just so glad that I did, and I loved it so much more, and I cannot wait to revisit this now that I've watched the special features and know some of the behind the scenes things that went on, and know some of the work that went into the film, and know some of the people who worked behind the cameras that we don't see. And yeah, it was just really fantastic, and I would definitely recommend it. So thumbs up if you enjoyed this special feature spotlight on Beauty and the Beast. Please let me know in the comments below if you have seen the film, what you think of it, if you've seen the special features, or now if you might consider checking them out, and if you'd like to see more of these videos. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, or if you're a newbie, I'll see you then. Goodbye!